Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lupita, if you don't know who I am. Alright, so today's video is going to be a get ready with me video. Today I just want to vent and talk, put this out there, because more than nothing I'm doing it for myself. More than nothing I'm doing it to see if it'll help myself, my personality, because the topic that I'm going to be talking about is really hard for me to talk about to anyone, period. It just makes me feel so uncomfortable and I don't know why. If you want to continue hearing my story, or if you want to see what look I come up with, keep on watching. For today's look, I'm going to be reaching out for my Huda Beauty palette. I haven't showed it love in a long time, so that's what I'm going to be using today. We're talking about something that is really sensitive for me, about how it was to grow up looking different, and by different I mean my eye. This is a topic that is really hard for me to say anything about. It's been really difficult living this way my whole entire life, ever since I can remember. For example, I've had this since I was, I want to say, 1 year old. It happened, so I've basically had this all my life. A lot of people always ask me if I was born with it or if I have a disease or what, and I'm just like, no, I was not born with this. I do not have a disease. It happened when I was little. It was an accident. I do explain that in my very first video in the Get to Know Me, so I won't really go into detail about what happened, but I just want to say that it's been really difficult living this way. I'll start off with when I was in elementary school. When I started school is when everything started happening. It's when I started questioning myself. It's when I started realizing, wow, you're different. And I know you guys are probably going to be like, you're not different, you're still human. And I get that. I get that I'm still human. When there's kids, they don't know. We're little, so anything freaky looking, anything weird, anything out of the ordinary is gonna freak you out, right? Because you're little. And when I was in kindergarten, I remember getting bullied because I looked the way I did. I remember kids did not want to play with me when it came to having partners. The other students didn't want to be my partner. They didn't want to be stuck with me. Back then, I remember always having to be partnered up with a teacher, because kids around me did not want to be my partner, because I guess I freaked them out. I remember that happening, and I remember at such a young age I already knew why kids did not want to be my partner, and I already knew why everybody was always not wanting to play with me at recess. Nobody wanted to sit by me at lunch, and if they were to sit by me at lunch, they would like scoot over a little bit, like, and look at me up and down, and I already knew why. It would make me feel so bad back then when I was little, but not as much as it makes me feel bad now. But as the years went by, as I started growing up, like in 5th grade, I remember thinking to myself, wow, I'm gonna go into 6th grade. And I remember everybody telling me, oh, 6th grade, you need to look good, because if you don't, you're gonna get bullied. In my state of mind, I already knew. I was like, I'm gonna get bullied. Like, there's no way I'm not gonna get bullied. Nobody's gonna want to talk to me. I'm probably gonna be that freak that I've always been, because that's what I was known for in elementary, a weird looking person. Like I said, nobody wanted to play with me back then. The boys would always run away from me, and it would make me feel so bad. I didn't even want to go to school. I would be like, no, I don't want to go. Why am I gonna go? There's people that are so mean to me. Nobody wants to be my friend. Nobody wants to be my partner. And back then my mom was like, no, it's okay, they like you, you just gotta go talk to them, be their friend. And I felt like she didn't understand. No, mom, like, they don't want to talk to me. They think I'm a fucking weirdo. That's how it was in elementary. When 6th grade came around, I want to say it was 6th and 7th grade, I didn't like talking to anyone. I was always that girl in the corner, quiet, because I felt like if I spoke out or if I stood up, raised my hand, people would turn back and look at me, and they would like be like, oh my god, what's wrong with her? Like, why does she look like that? What a weirdo. Because that's what I was used to since elementary. So I was always basically in the shadows. Boys, girls would make fun of me all the time, asking me, what's wrong with you, making me nice comments, and that would just make me feel so bad, to the point that I didn't want to go to school. I hated going to school. I hated waking up and looking at myself in the mirror and realizing how different I was. And then looking at other girls, at other people, and be like, wow, why can't I be like that? Why can't I be normal like them? Because to me, I wasn't normal. So I want to say during the whole entire 6th and 7th grade, that's how I was. Yeah, I still had friends who would talk to me, you know, like the girls. They'd be like, hey, what's up, girl, you know. And I still had friends. But within those friends that I had, they would still talk about me, about my eye. For example, I remember this girl would be like, oh, hey, this guy wants to know what's wrong with you. And I'm just like, in my head, I was like, I thought you were my friend. Like, shouldn't you be defending me? Shouldn't you be saying, like, why do you care? Leave her alone. Like, no. Or she'd be like, oh, hey, I told so-and-so what happened to you and why you're like that. And I'd just be like, what? How do you know? Like, you don't even know. Yeah, I told him you were born with it and this and this and that. And I'm just like, why are you telling people what happened to me? I would stay quiet. Good morning, baby girl.
I love you.
Love you too, Mama. So yeah, I just felt like even the people who I considered my friends would still talk behind my back, would still say mean comments about it here and then. They would feel like they were joking, you know? They'd be like, oh, we're just joking around. And I'd be like, okay, but that's not funny. It hurts my feelings. And because of this, I learned to be quiet. I learned to never say anything. I never wanted to say anything to anyone because I felt like if I ever talked back to someone that was being mean to me, they would just shut me down. Like, oh yeah, well that's why you look like a freak, or yeah, that's why you look like that, or that's why that happened to you. So I would never defend myself in any situation. Those 2 years were really rough for me. I went ahead and added some glitter to my eye, and this is the palette that I'm using. This is the name of it. I don't know where to get this because for my 22nd birthday, one of my really good friends, hey girl, shout out to you, it has all these pretty shimmers, and I grabbed this one for today's look. When I was going into 8th grade, I remember I was sick and tired of getting bullied all the time. I was sick and tired of people constantly making jokes about me. I was so sick and tired of everything that it's when the emo haircuts started to be a trend. I don't know if you guys remember. It's when like people would have dark long hair and they would cover like half of their face and they would consider themselves emos. So I remember I saw that trend and I was like, this is my salvation. This is what's gonna save me from getting bullied. This is what's gonna make everything just stop. Or at least that's what I thought. So I remember before going into 8th grade, I told my mom, I want to get my hair cut. Take me to the salon, I want to get a haircut. And she was like, okay, new school year, new you. Okay, girl, I'll take you to get your haircut. And I remember I Googled a bunch of different photos of how these haircuts were. And I chose a couple of them and I'm like, this is what I'm going to tell the lady that I want. We get there and we go and she starts cutting my hair. I tell her kind of what I want and she leaves it exactly how I want it. My bangs, it was in layers, but my bangs would come like this. And I'm going to try and insert a picture of here so you guys can kind of see how I would style my hair. I just recently stopped doing this. I want to say maybe back in 2016. I just recently stopped using my hair this way because I got sick and tired of it. But anyways, I'll get to that part. So I go there, get my hair cut. I was so happy, you guys. You guys don't understand how excited I was. I was like, yes, finally, something that's going to shut everybody up. I got my hair cut that way. And I remember going into middle school, 8th grade. And I remember going into my first class, which was music class. And everybody, because, you know, these are the kids that I already went to school with. So they already knew how I looked like before I even covered my face. So I remember going into music class. Everybody was staring at me. Like, and then looking at each other like, who the fuck, like, what the fuck. And I felt the tension. You know how you can feel the tension when someone's staring at you or when there's something bad happening? I felt the tension. So throughout the whole class, I was just sitting there like, and people were not talking to me like always, ignoring me like always, not wanting to be my partner like always. And I felt bad. So in my head, I was like, shit, was this a good idea? Should I have even done this? Like, should I even cut my hair this way? And I was slowly starting to regret the decision of covering my face because I just felt like now it brought more attention to me. So I walk out music class, and as I'm walking away, this girl comes up to me and goes, hey, look at that. And I'm just like, yeah. She's like, did you cut your hair like that because you don't want people to know what's wrong with your eye? And I remember just feeling my blood like boil inside of like embarrassment, madness, sadness, everything just crumpling it up inside me. And I was like, no, this is just the haircut that I wanted to go for. And she was like, oh, really? Well, that's not what everybody thinks. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I remember walking away from her literally almost in tears, because I was like, wow, I was trying not to get attention, and now all the attention is on me again, because now everybody knows that I did this because I wanted to cover my eye. Nobody would notice. As the year went by, I continued with my hairstyle, and I noticed change. Like, I noticed, like, when the new kids would come into school, they didn't know because they couldn't see me. They couldn't see what I looked like. So they were starting to be nicer to me. Like, the kids started to be more nice to me. I started gaining more friends. I started feeling a little bit more confident in myself. Of course, I would still get asked though from time to time, like, why do you wear your hair like that? And my answer was always like, oh, you know, it's the style. That's how I want to look. I like it. And since a lot of people didn't know, they'd be like, oh yeah, girl, it's the style. It looks hella good on you. That's how I did the whole entire 8th grade. And high school came around. I still continue to wear my hair like that the same. I remember it was the first day of high school, and I was so nervous. Because come on, it's high school. Who doesn't get nervous for their first day, their first year as a freshman? And I remember I was standing there waiting for my friend to come in so that we could walk to class together. And I was sitting there with my hair like that, just, you know, standing there, and this guy comes up to me, and I could tell something was up. I was like, this guy's not coming to ask me for my number. This guy is not coming over here to tell me I'm cute. This guy has something up his sleeve. Like, I could just feel it. And I'm standing there, and he's in front of me, and he starts going like trying to look around me. And I was just like, hi, do I know you? And he goes, why do you wear your hair like that? And I was just like, because I like to, and this is what I like. And he was like, what's wrong with your eye? Like, is that why you cover your hair? Like, is that why you're wearing your hair like that? Because you don't want people to know that your eye's like that? And I was in shock. I was like, really? The first day of school, and this random ass kid that I don't know, never see in my damn life, just randomly comes and asks me this question that I was clearly trying to avoid throughout the whole entire high school. And I remember he kept asking me, what's wrong? Like, and I kept looking away from him. I kept turning around. I kept going like this. I kept going like, stop, like, leave me alone. And I remember telling him, this is just the way I like to wear my hair. Like, can you just stop? And I walked away from him, and I looked back at him, and he just stood there like, he made a disgusting face. I remember I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry so bad. I wanted to run out. I didn't want to be there. I was like, wow, the first day of school, and someone's already giving me shit about it. I wonder how the rest of the year is going to be like. I wonder how everybody else is going to treat me. So I remember when I would walk into class, I would always just inhale and be like, okay, whatever, fuck it, whatever comes. I realized that one of my lashes, I think it was this one, was coming off. So I glued it back on, and then I did some under eye area. I'm just gonna add a little bit of brown so that it doesn't look too harsh. I remember every time I would walk into class, I would be so scared. I knew there was always going to be at least one person in class that was going to ask or make fun of me. Always. This also came from teachers themselves. Like, I remember, I'm going to bounce back a little bit, in 8th grade, I remember teachers making joke about my hair. I remember my math teacher always cracking jokes on me, saying, oh, if you keep wearing your hair like that, you're going to go blind in that eye. Oh, if you keep wearing your hair like that, you look like this, you look like that. But he thought it was funny because I guess he didn't think he was hurting me, and I would just sit there and be like, hey, yeah, because I didn't want to, like, I wasn't going to tell my teacher, like, stop fucking, like, talking to me like that, like, you're making me fucking feel bad, stop it. Just didn't have the courage to do that. High school, certain teachers would always make fun of me because of the way I wore my hair. That would always hurt me, but I would suck it up and take it like a bad bitch, because I was like, whatever, I'm always going to get bullied, it's never going to change. I bounced back to high school now. It wasn't as bad as middle and elementary, bullying, because I felt like in high school you're more like your own person. Everybody's like doing their own thing. They don't really care. But I mean, I was still bullied. My friend would be like, oh, he's cute, he's cute, he's cute. And I never wanted to talk to any guy because I just felt embarrassed. And I felt like when they realized what I really looked like or who I really was, they were not going to want to talk to me anymore. So I never approached a guy. And when a guy would tell me that they liked me, I'd be like, are you crazy? And I would immediately tell them what was wrong with me. I'd be like, well, I look like this and I look like this. Like, do you still want to talk to me? And a lot of them sometimes would bounce back and be like, whoa, like, yeah, never mind, I don't want to talk to you. I did date, I want to say 2 guys in high school, but that was it. Those are the only 2 guys that I actually date. I guess nobody thought I was attractive because of the way I look. You know, in high school, middle school, elementary, I was always bullied. It was always hard for me, and it always bring me down. Like, I would never show it off. Like, my friends never noticed that I felt this way because I would bottle it up inside me, and I wouldn't tell anyone because I didn't like speaking about it to anyone. After high school, work comes. You start getting jobs. I remember I got a job, and I would get made fun of at my job too. From the customers, from the clients, from the people that I worked with. They would ask me and talk about me. I would catch them talking about me, saying that I was a weirdo, a freak. And I remember also when I worked at this call center, it was training. I was in training, and he made a joke about it. He said like, oh, you're blind in that eye, that's why you cover it, or something like that. And I remember just sitting there like, and he said it in front of everybody, and I felt so bad. I didn't even want to go back to work. I was like, wow, I thought all of this was going to be in the past. I thought all of this was just going to end in school because kids are immature. High school is immature as fuck. I never thought at a job people were going to treat me the same way. Grown people were going to still joke about it. Were going to still call me out about it. It just made me dislike work, period, all the time. A couple of days later, he came up to me and he was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were actually blind in your eye. I'm so sorry. I apologize. And in my head, I was just like, yeah, well, guess what? You already said it. You already did it. I don't like you. Leave me alone. So all these situations that kept happening to me during school, work, and it still tends to happen till this day, I have came to know that no matter who it is, young, old, always gonna have something to say. There's always gonna be something that's gonna be said. It's not okay for people to say shit to me, but I've came to a conclusion that, hey, this is the way I am. I'm gonna love myself for the way I am, and I'm done hiding. And if someone wants to say something smart about it, if somebody wants to say, oh, you look ugly, you're weird, you're a freak, I'm gonna defend myself. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, take it in anymore, because I had it so much and I've taken so much all these years, and I'm not okay with that. I'm not going to continue to let people shut me down and tell me that I'm a weirdo, I'm a freak. You know, if a guy doesn't like me because of it, guess what? I don't care. You're not even worth my time anyways. Plus, I don't even care because I already got my man anyway. I already got my husband anyway, so it doesn't matter. New Year's of 2016. I remember I decided to stop wearing my hair the way I did. Like I told you, I just recently stopped wearing my hair the way I would wear it, with covering my eye. I was like, I'm sick and tired of hiding. Why do I have to wear my hair like this? I would look at other girls who would do so many like cute hairstyles, the Kim K style that you part it and it's straight down. I remember I wanted to do that, and I was like, why can't I do that? Just because I don't want people to know who I am, or I want to hide? I was like, I'm sick and tired of it. I'm done. I'm gonna style myself the way I want to, and if people don't like me, then people don't like. That year I decided to say fuck it, and I post a picture. I'll go ahead and post a picture somewhere here so you guys can see it. I post a picture on my Instagram saying, you know I'm different. I'm sick and tired of people always talking negative about me. I'm just gonna be me, and if you don't like it, then you don't like it. So ever since then, I haven't covered my eye anymore, and I've been able to do all this bomb ass makeup, because I remember as well when I would do my makeup in high school, people would be like, you wear makeup now? And I'd be like, yeah. And they'd be like, oh my god, let me see your other eye. Like, do you do your makeup on the other eye? There's no point of you doing it on the other eye. You don't even show it. Just rude comments like that would piss me off. But now I don't care as much as I used to, because I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it doesn't get to me, because it still does. There's still constant bullying going on, especially on social media. The way social media is built now, like, I still get bullied. Just recently I posted a picture on my Facebook, and this guy messaged me saying what was wrong with my eye, why do I look like that I'm a freak. And I'm like, okay, I really don't care if I'm a freak. Like, leave me alone. If I'm a freak, then I'm a freak. I still get bullied. I still get shy when I start a new job. But I've noticed that now that I don't cover my eye, like at work and stuff, people are more respectful now. Like, they don't make jokes of me anymore. Because I feel like they see me and they're like, oh, you know, like, I'm not gonna be rude to her like that. And that has worked out perfectly fine. Decided to stop wearing my hair the way I used to. Okay, so this is the finished look. I just put on my lips, I did MAC stripped down lip liner, and then I just added this little gloss that I bought. I feel like this video is more for me because I want to look at it in the future and realize, like, wow, you know, you've changed a lot. And I'm proud of myself because I've changed a lot. Like I said, it still gets to me. I still get a little bit of bullying going on, especially on the social medias. I do flipograms of makeup. I get comments, but I've learned that it's normal. And by normal, I don't mean it's okay. I just mean like it's normal, as in it's gonna happen. I'm gonna get questions. People are gonna wonder. People are gonna say, wow, she looks different. And I've learned to live with that. It's not okay, but I'm fine with it. Just gonna avoid it, just keep going forward. It's still a really hard topic for me to talk about to anyone because it just gets me in my box, and it reminds me of all the bullying and of all the things that people have said to me or done to me because of it. But I'm slowly learning how to love myself, and I'm slowly learning that this is the way that I look, this is the way I am. So all the people who bullied me or who have said mean things to me, here I am, still alive. Life keeps going, life keeps pushing. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have gone through any similar situations, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. I want to hear, I want to see, and I hope that making this video, somebody who stumbles across it, that is going through something hard like this, realizes that it does get better, and that you have to avoid and ignore all those nasty people who are going to constantly try to knock you down. You just flip your hair and keep walking down that aisle. So anyways, thank you so much, and I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.